I started to think that I was that guy, and I just wanted to be somewhere where that guy was going to be able to be that guy 100% of the time instead of being that guy for like 60% of the game.
Coach Poteet said that if you look at a guy on film, some guys are good athletes but lack confidence. He said when he looked at you on film, he saw a good athlete who was not afraid to get in people's faces and be confident. I was just curious, have you always been that way at UCLA? Did it take some development? Or
No, definitely was not always that way. Well, kind of was always that way, because like naturally, that's just my personality. I kind of have like sometimes my personality could be overbearing.
Okay.
So sometimes people take like my confidence for cockiness.
Okay.
But it's like, even if I am talking like that, like I had to get to that point, because like, I don't know why I'm getting emotional, but I wasn't always this good. Like, that just don't happen overnight.
You don't just flip a switch.
You don't just become good. So it's like, even if I am talking like this and you think I'm cocky, it's because it's coming from a place of work. Like I don't believe in talking, in this sport you can't talk and not back it up.
When did you start having that confidence to believe you were as good as, believe you were better?
I say during the pandemic, that's when it really clicked, because what a lot of people don't know is, like, during the pandemic, I was by myself. I was with my friend William Nemo for a few times, but for the most part, like even in terms of off-season preparation, like off-season lifting, because like schools and things were being shut down, and there was a whole lot of like you come to the facility, but it was a whole lot of rules and things that I just didn't want to get a part of. So I kind of took a solo approach, and I kind of asked myself before the season, like, what could I prove to myself? And then just a little. I did a little bit during the pandemic season, but I knew why I did a little bit, and I was happy because I knew, like, you know, sometimes you make plays and it's kind of confusing, but the fact that I was able to basically have during the pandemic, it was not a real off season. So I was able to not have a real off season, and I was able to come in, start, and then get some interceptions in a 7-game season. So then I was able to take that mentality, like, wait, hold on. You was able to see what you did with a little bit. All right, let's see what you could do with a lot of bit. And that's when I really gained confidence of knowing or understanding what I could truly be capable of.
What were your impressions of Wisconsin's defense from an outsider's perspective playing UCLA? I mean, I don't know how often you saw them or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, because we play the same days, and I don't really watch TV. So I didn't really see too much, but from what I did see, one thing I did see was that they get to the quarterback. And I know me, sometimes, like, hey, I'm gonna need somebody to get to the quarterback. So that was one thing that definitely stood out to me.
You know, I know you only had 1 year with him, but Lewis, who came here as well, we've seen him only for 7 practices. What kind of player you think he might be able to be, whether it's this year or in the future as a wide receiver?
I think he has a potential to be a guy, to be the number one guy. I don't know when, and this not even because me and him came from the same school. Because to be honest, when we was at UCLA, if y'all watch football, y'all know how they treat the wideouts. Like, it's not. So even when I saw him in practice, it was limited. Like I'm seeing way more of what he could do here in comparison to when, mind you, I was with him at UCLA for, say, like 6 months. But he was in a very limited role.
Okay.
So I think I think now with his expansion, I'm able to see how fast he is. I wasn't really able to see that. I'm able to see how good of a route runner he is, his releases and things of that nature. So I think just based off of the eye test, I think visually he has everything that a receiver could really want.
You mentioned not having seen Wisconsin a lot. What drew you here then, and how did the recruitment process just play out with Coach Leonard and Coach Petit that you wanted to sign up here for your last year?
So when I was texting Coach Poe, one thing that stood out is I asked him like, what technique do you teach? And then he sent me 3 different ones. And then most coaches that I've been around, not most, but some coaches that I've been around, when I ask them like, what technique do you teach it? They kind of more X's and O's. So the fact that me and him was able to have a conversation on that, and then I knew that I was gonna be able to elevate X's and O's just as much as I was gonna be able to elevate athletically.
Suffering through a long winter. How are you holding up as in Southern California? I've seen some Instagram posts.
Yeah.
You seem pretty.
Yeah. I went home for spring break, so that was good. I came back. They tricked us with a 60-degree day, like 70-degree day. Tricked us. But then after that, it's been cold. But now I'm just at the point where I just wake up. It's cold. If it's not snowing, then I'm happy. If it's not snowing and raining, then I'm happy. But they told me what? It's April. They told me the weather's supposed to be clearing up sometime soon, so I'm just waiting on that clear up. Yeah, maybe. Maybe, who knows? I'm pretty convinced that we live under a cloud over here.
Hank mentioned that you had a connection with Faion Hicks.
Mm-hmm.
How did you know him, and what was that kind of connection?
Oh yeah, that one. It was just a mutual relationship. Like he knew somebody. Just like a family friend, and then he ended up talking to Faion, and I was able to talk to Faion through that. But yeah, that's all it really is.
What did he just kind of tell you about Wisconsin, if anything?
Basically, he just told me that I would have, because with him being a senior, the question was if he was coming back or not. So it's just about the position being limited, knowing that they need some vets, and that I would have the potential to come in here and basically replace him,
With Alex, I think it's only human nature to feel some type of way when you're the senior. You think it's going to be your room, and then 3 transfers.
Oh yeah, no
come
doubt,
in.
no doubt.
How has he just embraced you guys? And has there been any animosity at all with the challenge that he now faces with the 3 of you guys?
Yeah, not beautifully enough, there hasn't been any animosity. Me and him, we actually got our lockers is right next to each other, so even because sometimes I come in, I don't talk, and then on those days he even just reach out to me, he tell me good morning, tell me hello. So I think in terms of I haven't been able to see the selfish mentality of somebody feeling a type of way because somebody just came into their room. He actually been open-minded and just been just going with the flow, trying to be the best teammate that he could be, really.
Besides Wisconsin, what other schools were you looking at when you came out of the portal?
I got contacted by Penn State, SC, Kentucky. I know those for a fact.
I think you touched on it before, but given that all the success you had at UCLA and some of the accolades, can be rare for somebody like that to enter the portal. Generally it's a lot of guys who are unhappy and not doing well that need a fresh start. What was just kind of your reasoning for wanting to start fresh as a senior?
I don't know. I just need 12 games under my belt, to be honest. We saw what I could do with, 7? I just want 12 games underneath my belt.
Do you know Faion Hicks well, or the former Columbus?
I know him kind of like just what's up Instagram, not like not like
Y'all
real.
aren't, like, close friends, right?
we're not
played
close
against
enough.
or anything like
Yeah,
that.
no.
Or, okay.
Played only 7 games last year.
Started.
Okay.
That's what I meant to say. I started 7 games last year. I need to start like.
Is that what you kind of meant by saying you wanted to be the guy all the time instead of 60% of the time, or?
You said was I mad?
No, you said earlier that you wanted to be the guy
Yeah.
full time, not 60% of the time. Is that what you kind of implied there? Or?
And I'm just saying like you know how Jalen Ramsey started? Like, let's just say I look up to Jalen Ramsey. Like, I think I could do the same things that he could do. So it's just it's not anything. I just think that, you know.
Wisconsin had the #1 defense in the country last year. What are your early impressions of the group you have to work with, this year, and kind of what they do on the defensive side of the ball?
Oh, I know for a fact we're gonna get to the quarterback. They made that clear. Coach Leonard made that clear as well. So what I've been seeing people that's gonna get to the quarterback, and then that's what we've been focused on, just getting to the quarterback, and then after that he put the pressure on the DBs, and then just can you lock up? So.
What have been your first impressions of Jim Leonard as a coordinator? You know, you said you were impressed with his NFL background and stuff, but as a coordinator, what's he like?
I think he's funny. I think he's really funny. Like, he got his little jokes. He got his little jokes he be throwing in here and there. I'll be laughing. So I think that's cool. And then just even because since I'm from Cali, not a lot of people from Cali from out here or come out here. So even with that, like he just be joking around with me with just Cali stuff. So like off the field, not talking about football, I think he's just funny. He's just a funny guy to me.
There's some younger guys in the room. Amon's been talked about a couple times.
Yeah.
What are some guys that are maybe catching your eye? Younger guys.
I would say we're at a point to where it's not about we're not on no individualism. Like even if an individual stand out, like similarly, like what y'all don't know, an individual stood out yesterday at practice, but that didn't mean nothing because the entirety of the team wasn't up to par, it wasn't up to standard. So I say in terms of like individual success, we're not focused on that. The thing that we got to be focused on is, like I said, the best individual on the team is the Badger as one.